Mhm. All right, we are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our uh, 2025 AAMHA's conference, Healing Across Generations, Breaking the Silence on Mental Health in Armenian Families. Today, we are here with a great group of presenters, representative from different organizations. And our panel today is about increasing cooperation about Armenian psychology organizations. So the way our panel will go today, each one of us will take 8 minutes to represent our representative, our organizations, and then we will uh, we will cover six organizations. I'll start first with the Armenian American Mental Health Association. I'm honored to serve as the president of the association. So let me start with the presentation for AAMHA. Share my screen. All right, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So let me start. I'll start with a brief history and an introduction and our mission. AAMHA started in 2007. It was established by doctors Emma Oshakan, Levin Jernazian, Rafi Tashian, and Charles Pilafian. The goal of the association has been strong to advocate for mental health and to advance mental health knowledge and practice. In 2009, the organization earned its nonprofit status and has since been active in charitable giving, particularly to organizations in Armenia to support mental health initiative and services. This is, can you all see it, or is it? This is our current board. I'm the president. Anna was the previous president of the current president. We have Lena on the left here. She is the membership director. We have here Misak. Misak is the director for the treasurer. And then also we have Yeva here. Oh, let me make this a full screen. It will be better. We have Yeva. Yeva is our social committee chair. And then we have Eric. Eric is our education committee chair. We have Amalia, who is our secretary. And here, Arpine, Sevan, and Adela these are our advisors. So the goal of AAMHA, we have two main goals: empower Armenian community through mental health advocacy, but also to help our clinicians with supporting them and creating a strong mental health identity for our clinicians. So we do this through collaborative work with Armenian professionals around the world to advance the scholarship and practical application of knowledge in the field of mental health. So this is done through a cultural lens with a cultural humility, understanding of the differences both in our community for the individuals who receive mental health services and to help our clinicians to provide this clinically sensitive and caring services. How do we reach our goals? We reach our goals through different means, through different events. The main type of events we have are educational and programming direction path, and then we also create different social events. We create different networking events, and then these are for the professionals, but we also do help the community by raising awareness and supporting the community when it's needed. In 2020, with the major war in Artsakh, we created AAMHA's volunteers network. It's interesting, and it was very heartwarming to know that when we put that flyer requesting for volunteers, 200, above 220, 30 clinicians, trainees, students joined us wanting to help the community. And from 2021, we started our annual conferences, and since then we have had a conference every year, and with the current one happening right now today. These are some events, some pictures of the different events we have done. At the top here, you see we also started to do a continuing education for our clinicians. We had multiple continuing education events, which clinicians who are licensed, they could get credit for their required hours. We have the networking events. You can see here the flyers on the left. And then we also collaborate with different organizations. Here, it's myself, Anna, and Sevan. We joined the fair at Glendale Community College here in Glendale for the raising awareness regarding mental health. And here on the right, you see Misak and Lina. They went to Los Angeles County Psychology Association to represent AAMHA. In addition to those events, we also work with the community in different at different times. Like one of the most recent ones was the fires in Los Angeles. We provided some support groups. We did join with some of the community organizations here in LA and provided or did some fundraising and donation for the for those who were the victims of the fire crisis. And excuse me. And here you can see the flyer for the stress, trauma, and grief and loss. That this these are also. This is a sample of the things that we did for the during the Artsakh War. Provided the training and support our clinicians and their community members needed both there in Armenia and here. So that's basically in a very short, brief summary of AAMHA's work. If you are students in mental health or psychology, if you are a clinician, want to join us, please feel free to contact us at amhawest@gmail.com or contact us or follow us through our social media pages that are noted here. So thank you, everyone, again for joining us. So with that, we will move to the next presenter. Our next presenter is going to be Dr. Harold Takushian. From representing Armenian Behavioral Science Association. Do you want me to share your PowerPoint?
I'll follow your lead, George, whatever you say.
Okay, I can do that. Probably that will be easier. Let me do that. Okay, you just let me know when you want me to,
So I'll give you the signal. Is that right?
yes.
Okay, Harold Takushian here from Fordham University in New York. For my 8 minutes, I'd like to say abris to George and his AAMH team for putting together this conference and for allowing us to participate. To my knowledge, this is the first time all 6 of our organizations have been in one panel. I'd like to focus on increasing cooperation among Armenian American psychology organizations, and I'll be covering 5 points. Next. Next one, George. I can't control it, right? It's in your control.
Can you see it now? Is that we are on the next?
Sure. Okay. Helen Keller said this wise statement: the world is full of suffering, but it's also full of the overcoming of suffering. Next. Next. I think this too far. It's better if I do it, George, but maybe the future speakers might do it more directly.
Okay,
If you go back one,
this one?
yes, that's it. I think what Helen Keller said is very true of the Armenian nation. Armenia is the 4th oldest nation on earth. And it's fair to say, thank you. And it's fair to say that Armenian history has not been just full of suffering, but the overcoming of suffering. Today in 2025, we see that the 5 million Armenians in the diaspora all wish well to the Armenians living in the Republic. Since 1988, we've had the earthquake, political instability, Artsakh genocide 2.0, and regional conflicts in Syria and Iran. Next one. It's a mixed picture as far as I'm concerned. On the positive side, throughout the past 4,000 years, Armenians have had great talent, energy, and initiative in finding ways to overcome tragedy. I don't know how on earth Armenians survived all this time. But on the negative side, Armenians also suffer lack of communication, duplication of efforts, organizations that don't speak with each other. On the screen there, you see 9 organizations. These organizations have never appeared on the same screen before. Next, George. A good example of this is 1973, back over 50 years ago. The lady I met who became my wife, Silva Barsumian, was new to New York City. And she laughed that in New York, you've got about 100 organizations, 100 Armenian organizations, such a small group doing all these different things. And yet there's no list. There's no one list of all these organizations. So Silva and I put together a list. And this list became very popular because the overcoming of the organizations all appeared on one page, including the churches, by the way. There was no list of all the Armenian churches in New York, all 11 of them. Next, George. So the point I would make is that we need more coordination. Just briefly, Sir Isaac Newton said that in the universe, there is centrifugal forces and centripetal forces. Among us Armenians, the centrifugal forces are very powerful. All the organizations that have created, Jane Mahakian's Alzheimer group, Ani Kalajian's wonderful group since 1990, wonderful organizations, but the centripetal force, the opposite what Newton says, is what binds Armenians, what keeps them together. And we really don't have an overarching structure. Very often, things fall through the gaps. Next. Thank you, George. I would use as a case study my own organization, AAMHA, the Armenian Behavioral Science Association, which was founded back in 1987. AAMHA is a network today of about 500 Armenian American behavioral scientists, and its goal is to promote coordination within the Armenian behavioral sciences, including psychology. Next, George. What we've done in the past several years, and I'll finish my 8 minutes quite quickly, is establish the global network so that Hrant and I work together across the diaspora and the Republic. I enjoy working with Ani and Jane Mahakian and now Nazali on different projects that we can benefit each other. Next, George. And these will go quite quickly. These are the various ways we've tried to do the centripetal force, that is, bringing Armenians together. One is conferences, APA psychology, ASA sociology. We try to have gatherings at these conferences. And here you see Ani Kalajian and me in Chicago having a conference on Armenian issues at the APA meeting. Next, George. A second way of bringing people together is regional symposia, not conferences, but getting people together in different cities. This picture you see Moscow in 2013. The Armenians in Moscow, the Armenian psychologists never met each other, but we were able to get them together in one room. And of course, this is a positive thing. Next. A third way is awards. We've given awards to 41 psychologists now around the world, people that we read their names in the textbooks, and these people are recognized for their contributions to social science in general and Armenian psychology in particular. And in that picture, you see Ani giving the awards to Mark Krikorian for migration research and Alan Solarian for psychiatry. Next one. A fourth and kind of difficult but very rewarding way of bringing people together is publishing directories. And AAMHA has published 5 directories so far of Armenian psychologists and sociologists in the diaspora and in the Republic of Armenia. Next. These directories, by the way, include not only the contact information, but are a survey of whether these professionals are willing to serve other people and work with the media, so that it's a survey as well as a directory. Next, please. A fifth method of bringing people together is bulletins. We don't do this anymore. It's just too much work. But bulletins where Armenians share news about the work they're doing with the Armenian community and Armenian studies. Next, George. A sixth method, which I think is very important, is research. Ani and Jane are both researchers, and they document what they're doing with data, as well as I do. And fortunately, Armenia has several journals now that are willing to publish this research, so that this is an important centripetal force if we publish our research in our own Armenian journals. Next, please. A seventh method AAMHA has developed is promoting Armenians in the general culture. In this picture you see on the top, 2019, Hrant Avanesian is chairing the Yerevan State University Conference, and we're talking about Psychi, the Honor Society. Within 1 year, in 2020, Hrant launched the first chapter of Psychi in the entire Caucasus region. And you see the picture on the bottom with Dr. Kalajian and others. And finally, the next slide. We were able to nominate Hrant for an award, and indeed, an APA in 2021 gave Hrant the Global Citizen Psychologist Citation for his remarkable work in the Republic of Armenia. In closing, and the next slide, I would say that we have to not just put energy into our organizations, but make sure we work with each other. And I would say that we're looking right now, AAMHA is looking for a few American Armenians to join us on October 10th to speak about the diaspora at Hrant's conference in Yerevan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harold. Appreciate it. Let's see who is the next presenter. All right, our next presenter is Dr. Jane Mahakian, representing Alzheimer Care Armenian.
Thank you so much, Dr. Garabian, for introducing, and I'm pleasure to be here this early evening. And of course, Dr. Takushian, my goodness, we go back how many decades, right? We're very pleased to be part of your global network. So Alzheimer's Care Armenia was founded in 2017. I am the founder and the president of ACA, and our mission is to raise awareness and develop sustainable programs and services countrywide for people with cognitive impairment and other neurocognitive disorders, including, of course, Alzheimer's disease, Lewy body, vascular dementia. We've had several key initiatives over the last 7 years, and the Brain Health Armenia project in 2022, which was funded by Davos Alzheimer's Collaborative, was a project that provided early detection memory screening for over 4,000 people countrywide. We developed a mobile healthcare team and partnered with the Armenian Eye Care Project and followed the Armenian Eye Care Project mobile clinic around the country and screened the patients coming there, as well as we were in numerous clinics and hospitals throughout the country. This is the first time that we've had an opportunity to assess the cognitive functioning of people countrywide in Armenia. Since 2018, we've developed 4 memory cafes, 3 in Yerevan to date and 1 in Gyumri, and they are places of joy, of exercise, art therapies, cognitive games. And then, of course, as many of you know, ACA spearheaded the country's National Dementia Plan in cooperation with the Ministry of Health. And we also developed and conceived the project of using Robin the robot in a nursing home in Armenia in 2019, which was a huge success. Next slide, please. Currently, our current projects are developing with the support of the AGBU. Earlier this year, we developed Armenia's first ARTSOC support cafe. The focus is on mental health and trauma for ARTSOC elders in Gyumri as well as in Yerevan, supported, as I had said, by the AGBU. We recently are expanding this project to several additional regions throughout the country, the ARTSOC Support Cafe. Grateful for the support of the Armenian Women's Welfare Association. Our Train the Trainer program last year was a huge success. We also did a great deal of training with police cadets in Yerevan, first responders, on what is dementia, as well as what are the signs and symptoms of what to look for. In 2019, many of you already know, we have the country's and developed the country's first Alzheimer's caregiver helpline. This caregiver helpline is managed and supported by Mission Armenia, and it's a wealth of information for people calling. We are currently working on a collaboration with YSM, Yerevan State Medical University, and NIH Armenia on developing the National Dementia Registry, which we are currently working on right now. Next slide, please. So some of our active projects and activities, I want to share that we do have a national research and development team, and they are spearheading many of these projects, including the National Dementia Registry, the Arm, Mind, Fingers project, which we're very excited about with the Alzheimer's Association. ACA is really a big supporter of collaborations. So we always want to collaborate with other organizations, and they help us, we help them. We have, in 2018, we launched and supported the first Alzheimer's disease conference at YSMU. And this October, after Harant's conference, we'll be having a conference at NIH. This will be our third Alzheimer's disease conference. Next slide. So advisory activities on Armenia. We collaborate very closely with the Ministry of Health, as well as with the Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs, to develop a lot of the guidelines for dementia care in the country. We also provide, as I had said earlier, the remote advisory services through the National Caregiver Helpline. We receive anywhere from 40 to 60 calls per month. And some of the folks who are living here in the United States have loved ones in Armenia, and they need guidance and advice also. So the telephone also rings quite often here in California for the loved one that's residing in Armenia. Next slide. So as I said, the Train the Trainer program, we developed a specialized training program for primary care physicians. We've trained 630 of those physicians on the MOCA, on the Montreal Cognitive Assessment Test, and these physicians were from 9 different regions in the country. We also developed the Train the Trainer, where each physician trained 10 of their colleagues, and that was really well received also. Our nursing conference, led by Dr. Nancy Barsamian, was a huge success, where she trained over 40 nurses on Alzheimer's disease, palliative care, and end of life. And then, as I had said earlier, we had our police training, which really was very useful and for the cadets. Next slide. Our research activities right now include the National Dementia Registry. We also are working on the ARTSOC support cafes, and making sure that each of the beneficiaries of the ARTSOC support cafe are participating, of course, in the research component of this project, which is very important. Next slide. So we have ongoing collaborations. As I had said, we collaborate closely with Mission Armenia. We collaborate with the Armenian Eye Care Project, with the Hanar Foundation, with AGBU, the ministries of labor, as well as the Ministry of Health in Armenia, and of course, YSMU and NIH. Next slide. So how can we better organize international collaboration? I'll just say in the last minute or so of my 8 minutes here, is we are looking to develop, dementia care fellowships. We will be opening a center in the new year in the AAMHA region of the country. And the center, it'll be a daycare program for people with Alzheimer's disease. We are going to use and develop this site also for education and training. And we plan to develop relationships with the YSMU to also train their students, medical students, psychiatry students, and psychologists. We're going to have the workshops and seminars as well as caregiver training. We believe, the community outreach is a real need, and educating people not only in Armenia, but also the Armenian people here on the disease, on Alzheimer's, which is, as you know, a global problem. So partnerships are something that we really welcome. We're also developing an alumni network of trained professionals to drive policy change. So we in our work with the government, we're, you know, driving those policy changes and making sure that they have the guidelines that are going to be caring for that person that has a cognitive impairment, as well as support for their families. Next slide. And thank you very much. I want to thank you for this opportunity, and I appreciate very much being part of this panel.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Mahakian. So our next presenter is Nazeli Kirakosyan, representing Armenian Spiritual Revival Foundation.
Yeah, thank you, George. I will set up the presentation. Oh.
I'm sorry, did you say you want to share yours from your side, or you want?
I would prefer, if I can, if you
Okay,
give
go
me
ahead.
the access. You see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for introduction, and thank you for this opportunity to share our work with you. My presentation has a different flow from those of my colleagues. My presentation will introduce our innovative approach and our flagship initiative, Armenian Revival Journey, around which we want to build partnerships in and beyond Armenia, and I will highlight the opportunities for cooperation. Let me briefly introduce who we are and what drives our work. Our vision is to spark psycho-spiritual revival in post-traumatic settings, helping people regain hope and take a leap of faith towards the future. Our mission is grounded in the Armenian legacy of survival and revival. We design scalable programs that advance mental health through research, practitioner training, and field-tested models that build personal agency and resilient communities. Since 2022, we have trained more than 80 professionals, provided over 10,000 online mental health assessments, and supported more than 2,000 people through community-based programs. This slide explains the heart of our work, our psychospiritual method. The psychospiritual method aims to support individuals in post-traumatic contexts by nurturing a deep belief in their personal agency, empowering them to live beyond hardship and embrace new beginnings. What makes this method truly innovative is the intentional blend of three powerful foundations: state-of-the-art psychological approach, we chose narrative therapy here, combined with active historical thinking, spiritual values, and a structured format. Unlike many open-ended approaches, the psychospiritual method is delivered through a clearly defined group support model. Participants move through time-bound phases and milestones that guide them on a transformative journey. This unique integration allows individuals to process trauma while reconnecting with their cultural identity, collective memory, and inner meaning, ultimately empowering them to take a leap of faith toward renewal and purpose. So this is our flagship project, the first model that we used our innovative approach in. So this is a structured three-phase program supporting personal transformation. The first phase, Revive, includes 6 weekly small group meetings, up to 12 people in a group, focused on reauthoring life narratives and processing trauma. Strive, the second phase, is a 2-day event for 30 participants that builds community belonging and shared identity. And Thrive is a celebratory event with 70 people, 35 participants, and 35 invited guests, we call them outsider witnesses, designed to affirm progress and grounded in the shared values and the future-focused vision. Together, these 3 phases form a complete time-bound journey that brings the psychospiritual method to life. The first large-scale pilot of the Armenian Revival Journey took place from September 2024 to February 2025, reaching 550 participants across 3 cities. To ensure that this pilot was not just heartfelt, but also credible and measurable, and we built a robust monitoring and evaluation system around it. We wanted to make sure that any observed changes were not just anecdotal, but statistically valid and meaningful. In addition, we developed a validated and dedicated psychometric tool that is pre and post questionnaire in collaboration with experts from Yerevan State University. This tool was specifically designed to measure the psychospiritual outcomes we aim to influence and was integrated into the evaluation process. Before we turn to the measured outcomes and statistical results, I would like to briefly share how the participants themselves experienced the journey. The feedback we received was overwhelmingly positive. 99% praised the facilitators for creating safe and engaging spaces, and 94% of participants reported that they feel ready to reauthor their life stories, showing a deep internal shift. These voices remind us that beyond the numbers, the experience of healing was real, powerful, and personal. And this slide shows the most frequently shared words from both participants and their guests during the Thrive event. Since I'm an emotional person and a bit of a dreamer, this is my favorite slide. What it tells us is that the impact wasn't just internal, it extended beyond the participants themselves. While participants reflected on growth, connection, and contribution, their guests spoke of love, strength, and unity. This outward ripple effect is exactly what the psychospiritual method is designed to create: healing that becomes shared, meaningful, and rooted in community. Now, going back to the impact evaluation I mentioned 2 slides earlier, this slide shows the measurable outcomes across each phase of the Armenian revival journey. In the revive phase, we recorded a 91.7% improvement in personal agency, behavioral change, and the pro-future mindset. In Strive, participants showed an 80.2% increase in their sense of belonging and coping mechanisms, supported by spirituality, shared narratives, and active historical thinking. And finally, in the Thrive phase, we saw 68.5% increase in participants' experience of social connection, their experience of feeling supported by others, and becoming a source of support themselves. Our project, since our project was need-based, so we applied a selection process to identify those most affected by trauma, specifically trauma related to the 2020 war and its consequences. Again, in collaboration with experts from Yerevan State University, we developed a special tool based on the PCL5 test to screen and select participants with the highest need. As an added value, we also used the same tool to measure impact afterwards. So 77% of the participants showed a measurable decrease in their PCL5 scores when finishing the project. And this comes as an added value to our project. And so building on the lessons learned, the slide outlines how we envision taking the work forward through meaningful collaboration with partners in other countries. We see several key areas for cooperation around psychospiritual method and the Armenian revival journey. We welcome partnerships for refining and evaluating the Armenian revival journey model, including through structured research efforts like the upcoming randomized control trial with McGill University. This will be a big initiative for us. We are also eager to explore expansion opportunities, co-developing new interventions tailored to different cultural settings, also outside Armenia and in diasporas mainly, live events or vulnerable groups. In the area of research and publication, we are open to joint case studies, field work, and content development supported by grant or academic partnerships. Our monitoring and evaluation really helped us to collect enormous data that we can use with multiple purposes. Beyond implementation, we hope to build a community of practice, a space where professionals across countries can exchange knowledge, reflect on our innovative method, and co-create new models with our method. And finally, our vision includes internationalization, adapting the psychospiritual model to different contexts with the involvement of local professionals who understand the cultural needs of their communities. So this was very brief. Thank you for welcoming me here and walking this journey with us today. We believe healing is not only possible, but stronger when shared. So we look forward to building the next chapter together with purpose and partnership. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nazali. Our next presenter is Dr. Ani Kalajian, representing a top meaningful board.
Okay, thank you for that, and thank you for everyone who presented thus far. We have worked closely with everyone except Nazeli, and we look forward to collaborating with you as well. As we say at Meaningful World, when one helps another, both become stronger. So I look forward for getting stronger with everyone. So today I'd like to present about our work in Armenia, because Meaningful World is not an Armenian organization, it's an international not-for-profit organization affiliated with the UN. We started in 1988, but officially have registered in 1990. We have had already 114 humanitarian missions in 50 countries, 8 regions of the world, as well as 26 states in USA. We're affiliated with United Nations, and these are our interns at the UN next to Armenia's gift to the UN, the Khachkar, which is very symbolic to us. And we practice and try to meet a lot of the SDGs. And mind you, the Sustainable Development Goal 17 is exactly what we're doing today, partnering to make this world a better place. So the other motto we have is shared sorrow is half sorrow, while shared joy is double joy. So coming together, we make our sorrows half, as we say in Armenian. We մենք ցավը կիսվում իրար հետ, and we double our joy together. We work on 5 different kinds of trauma: individual, generational, collective, vicarious, and horizontal. Horizontal, you don't hear that very often, but it's very important part, and we have been focusing specifically on Armenia. We started with the Armenian earthquake, devastating quake in 1988, December. But by the time, since it was Soviet Union, by the time we got visas, it was already January 89. At the UN, we were instrumental to have the very first mental health all-day conference, and we discussed the earthquake in Armenia and reported on the research findings. We offer internships and pre-doctoral fellowship at the United Nations, as well as other internships in psychology, international relations, digital media, etc. We have a big program and a committee on genocide prevention, and we have programs every year. Historically, they have been at the UN. Since COVID, we have been having the program at Fordham University, thanks to Dr. Tukushian. And with the genocide, also, we have many research studies, both on survivors' responses to the genocide and the generational. And in order for us to work on the prevention, we have contests we call Krieger contest. And it was the 30th anniversary this year. And we have monetary gifts that we give for that, encouraging youth to focus on prevention of genocide. This is last year that we had also collaborated with the Yerevan State University, and Dr. Amanesian is here, as well as, of course, we do work around the world, as you know. I'm not going to have time to focus on that, but the specific focus we need to give to horizontal violence, as Dr. Takushan pointed out, we lack the mindfulness and collaboration and communication. So we have banners that we give to all the universities and NGOs that we work with, huge banners that says, Parshashrek megat muisin, neregis kaganhai, mire gokin into ilihada kashochetz get nives. Don't be crab in the bucket pulling one another down. Be true humanitarian or Armenian and lift one another up. This is an area that we need to strengthen, and I hope that we can partner on this. In 2010, we began the Mind Body Echo Spirit program. Every June, we have this program at the UN, enlightening the diplomats and other people involved. And we do that through research publications. We have 6 books, over 100 research articles, 50 films, and CD. And we use the emotional management, EI, emotional intelligence, and we have all of our materials translated into Eastern Armenian. This is from last mission working with the American University of Armenia, and we do that in every mission. And addressing the SDGs in terms of goal number 1, we provided heating systems to every Armenian family that was forcibly displaced in 2023. In other countries, we provide sewing machines, teach people how to basically be independent. We also have programs feeding children in Africa and around the world, as well as planting trees, which we do that every year in Armenia. In the last mission in 2024, we planted 12 trees. In goal 3, good health and well-being, we have a very unique integrative model called 7-step integrative healing model that integrates mind, body, spirit, as well as ecology, Gaia, Mother Earth. We focus on preventive approaches. We give nutritional guidance and emotional management, as I mentioned earlier, assertiveness, as well as integrative healing from Gaia, Mother Earth, in terms of natural flowers and natural oils, essential oils, etc. In number 4, quality education, we provide workshops for trainers, workshops for Red Cross personnel. We work with all the orphanages in every country, especially Armenia, in Gyumri, in Banatsor, and we work with the responders, first responders, as well as the ministries of health, education, justice, and emergency situations. With the NGOs, we work with the EMDR Association. We train the academy at the Minister of Emergency Services. And the last natural disaster we worked in is with Aleppo and Turkey in 2023. So our organization focuses both on natural as well as human-made disasters. Collaboration is top on our agenda. We have universities in Gyumri, in Ashtarag, in Banatsor, in Ararat, in Datev, Goris regions, and we give workshops and experiential sessions for students to go through the 7-step and experience it firsthand. And also educating the children. We work in schools and kindergartens, and we use also movement, physical release, because trauma, you can sometimes talk until you're blue in the face. If you're a child, especially and teenager, it's important to engage the body, because as Van der Kolk research shows, the body, the cells remember. And just talking about it is not sufficient. As Dr. Tokouchian mentioned, we have been together and instrumental with Dr. Rant to establish the first Caucasus Psychi honorary chapter. And we had plans to meet with them in October. We work with the women on goal number 5 on gender equality. Here in Africa, we're working on genital mutilation. And in Armenia, we work with 6-7 different women's rights centers, women's support center, etc., to give women a separate and private training sessions and workshops. Reducing inequalities, we have addressed that in many countries, in Africa, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, helping the women drive cars independently. And in Armenia, we have trained the 80 psychologists who are now ready to man the suicide prevention hotline in Taspanutian Tejkit, but we're having challenges in terms of funding and any support in that I appreciate immensely. In goal 11 is sustainable and healthy communities. So we offer, besides planting trees, we offer peace and forgiveness gardens. These are very well designed areas where people come to pray, meditate, and do movements to release or talk with someone who is empathic. And we have had those in Palestine, in Africa, and in Armenia. They said that they were not ready to use the F word yet. So we just planted trees. And the SDG Goal 16 focuses on peace, and we have worked diligently through, in Armenia specifically. Here we have the pictures on the right with the children, as well as with the Armenian-Turkish dialogue. We worked for 10 years in New York, and we were having, with Professor Tokouchian, we were having public events, including Turks, Kurds, and Armenians at Fordham University.
Anijan, we only have about 5 minutes left.
Okay, so we have research. You can
Avanesyan.
check our website on the research, and here with at the YSU with Avanesyan. And I don't want to go into that, but this partnership is high on our goal, and we have several partners: Empathy Group, Intra, ORAG, and Positive Psychology are few of the examples, and as well as high schools and elementary schools. We also do a lot of teaching through television. This is on Barry Lewis, and then radio, and that's basically it. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Anijan, for your presentation. Our next presenter will be Dr. Hrant Avanesyan, who is representing Psychologists Union of Armenia.
George, you might.
You want me to share? Okay. Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for invitation to this conference, George. I will present very short and quickly about the Psychologists Union of Armenia. We established our organization in next, please. Oh, wait. In 2022, it was a very difficult process for collaborate with Armenian all organization, all universities and psychological centers and other organizations. We sent invite to all Armenian in Armenia, all Armenian psychologists who established this organization. And please next slide. And We have a very good participant in this established time. From Yerevan State University, Armenian Pedagogical University, Armenian National University. You see the list, all university, psychological centers, and other psychologists. The goal of our union is very important for status of professional of psychology, promoting, improving the education of psychology, protecting the interests of specialty, promoting the achievement, research, and other, etc. Next, please, the collaborate with the diaspora and other goals of our association. What we're doing the last 2 years in with our unions, we together with military psychologists after the war and the voluntaries, the big program around all region of Armenia. They're working with soldiers, with families of victims. We invite around 75 psychologists for these projects. After this, we collaborate with psychologists from Artsakh who come in Armenia. And I won't say, but some psychologists now work in my department. And we have students from Artsakh in university now and in other university. We help apps for adaptate in Armenia. We continue their study, we continue their education. We are doing the big project with WHO in Armenia. After this process, the send all volunteers to all regions of Armenia for using special questionnaire to test anxiety, depression, and mental health. The next slide, please. In this time, we organizing many projects. You know about our international conference in 2023. We have a good participate. I know that Ami Kalajan this time come in Armenia, and many other psychologists from diaspora come and this conference. We are organizing the workshop not only in Yerevan State University, in other university, for example, a workshop in Psychological Center of Apaga, Armenian Bejanyan, and in Urartu University with Setrak Setrakian, and other of the projects we're organizing. We every year organizing the special expo, psychological vernissage, where we invite the potential organization where our student can go after the degree to go to working. Next slide, please. The area of our activity is the very important on ethical standards of psychologists, develop of educational programs, expert psychological opportunities, prepare the license criteria. We work with all the governmental institutes, the ministry, and the center who is responsible for this process. We have a good cooperation with diaspora. I want special thanks to Harold Takushian in this process. He is our ambassador of Armenian psychologists. Thank you, Harold. What we need now, we go to leadership in psychologists in Armenia. It's very important to cooperate all organizations in a process of who think about the mental health of Armenian. We assist the young psychologists in this process. Very important what we establish in Armenia, Psyche chapters. It's very good for motivation of our students. The next slide, please. The last our activity, it was with specialists from Germany. We are organizing the special workshop in June 12:30 and invite many students and psychologists who work in organizational psychology. You see what we not only work in clinical psychology, we need the work in social psychology, in educational psychology, and other different parts. The very important events, it's this year in October 10, 12. It's Biennial Global Hour Conference. I invite everybody in Yerevan this time for See Together. I invite to send us the article for our journals, for See Togethers, and continue our jobs. Thank you. And next, I think we have other. I tell about this. I see what my time is finished, George.
If you want, we can have another minute or two if you want to finish it up.
No, it's okay. And next slide. Thank you for collaboration. Thank you for rotation. I'm very glad to see everybody here. Thank you again.
Thank you, Ranjan, and thank you everyone for all your great presentations. And as we're wrapping it up, it's very clear to see that we have a very strong potential for collaborative work with our psychological, spiritual, other supportive organizations, and hopefully we will continue this collaborative work and we will be stronger and we will help not only our professionals but also our communities. Thank you again, and thank you everyone who.
Is there room for recommendation? Like if everyone can send us a page of your presentation, we can pull it together in an article.
Yes, we can do that, and we can also talk some more about that after the presentation. But everyone who are listening now or joining us later, we will have another presentation tonight, Los Angeles time at 7:30 p.m. It will be about immigration and mental health. Thank you again, and have a wonderful evening, day, depending on where you are. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.